Hello all. Thank you, Thomas, for the great introduction. I am the yes man. I'm really glad to be here. I've heard that jokes and stories are a great way to start a talk, that they make people listen. Now, I'm not particularly the wittiest, so I would rather tell you a story. It was a lazy fall day in 2017 when I was lying on my bed, looking at the ceiling of my room because, well, I had nothing better to do when my cell phone rang. I saw a name flash on the screen and it was Lata Pat. As I slowly picked up the call, there was an incredibly chirpy and excited voice that greeted me saying, "Deepti, guess what? I have an excellent news for you. CWCT has started a new program called HAAP and you have to apply for it." I was like, Lata, CTAP, what? She took a deep breath, clearly cranking up the level of her patience, and slowly explained to me what Center for Washington Cultural Traditions was and how Heritage Art Apprenticeship Program could be a game changer for me. I tried really hard to agree with her, but I couldn't. So I just told her, Lata, you know what? I don't think this is going to work for me. I have a 4-inch binder sitting on my desk, which is filled with my rejection letters. And this is just going to add another leaf to it. But those of you who know Lata know that her optimism, persistence, and passion to make artists shine are not something that you can easily win against. So I just thought I will send the application out. Fast forward 6 months, spring of 2018, and I was still lying on my bed staring at the ceiling of my roof because nothing had changed. Again, my phone rang. This time, it was a different name that flashed on the screen. Kristen Sullivan. She was the then director of Center for Washington Cultural Traditions, as Thomas currently is. Those 2 phone calls in the 6 months, ladies and gentlemen, changed the course of my life. Finally, someone saw value in my 5,000-year-old visual art form, which is practiced by women folk in the interiors of India on the walls of their homes to tell stories from their everyday lives. I knew I had to make the most of it. Over the next year, my apprentice and I worked very meticulously, both inside the studio and outside. We worked on ancient techniques and stories and created several artworks. Then we went out into the community, gave free workshops, free demonstrations, even put up free pop-up exhibitions, because guess what? This program was even paying us. And as an artist, you would know that's a rarity. We also knew that this was our one chance to drag ourselves out of anonymity and maybe get a few eyeballs onto our artwork. Suddenly, Madhubani painting was on the map, even within the Indian community here. Our people started taking notice of it and started approaching us to find out how they could get more involved. One such person was Prisha's mom, Sarita, who's here with us today. She got Prisha immediately joined the classes, and I distinctly remember her as a wonderfully delighted student right from the get-go. She was passionate about learning, eager to dig deeper, and driven to make a social impact through art. Both of us paired up again in the year 22-23 to try out yet another year of Heritage Art Apprenticeship Program. While we worked on the styles, history, and techniques in Madhubani painting, Prisha's main focus then was to learn how to take this art forward. She trained to teach. She shadowed me in my classes, did extensive TA work, and as a result of a successful half year, she's now a bona fide teaching artist, leading a batch of 5 tiny tots on a weekly basis. Let's give a big round of applause for Prisha. She will share with you more on her experiences firsthand in just a bit. But before that, let me confirm. Lata Pat was right. Heritage Art Apprenticeship Program is a game changer. Thank you, Lata, for that call. Thank you to State Arts Commission and Humanities Washington for Heritage Art Apprenticeship Program. And of course, Thomas and Violetta. How do I even begin to thank you for how incredible you are? I remember I used to look at my Instagram feed, and I used to see all these fancy posts made by mainstream artists where they would have participated in some very important looking events around the state. And I thought to myself, will I ever get a chance to be part of that world, or will I just die in anonymity? Thanks to all their hard work, I am also making those Instagram posts now. They got my art fine recognition, and I found things to do. No lying on the bed staring at the ceiling anymore. Before I wrap up, I have to give a shout out to all the traditional artists present in the room here. It is no secret that traditions sit in the margin these days. But the fact that you or we chose to sit with it in the margins is probably going to shift the focus of the archlights towards us soon. Let's just hang in there for a little while longer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, every time I file a rejection letter in my 4-inch binder, I have to slowly slide to the side a 2-inch acceptance binder that sits right on its top. And that to me is a big win. Thank you, everyone.